They are scenes that are now happening daily in towns and cities across the country. In Bristol, there were clashes as police tried to keep apart a group of far-right protesters and a much larger anti-fascist counter-protest. It felt unpredictable, confrontational and tense, as in so many places in the last few days, the police right in the middle of the disorder. In Hull city centre, another standoff between a large group of protesters and police. Some were filmed taking a piece of scaffolding, apparently to use as a missile. And what's become the soundtrack for many taking part in these protests.
Use as a missile? UK missiles? Fucking
This
scaffolding.
is what residents saw after tyres and bins were set alight. By the evening, there was just the sound of the alarms in shops that had been broken into. The street littered with the debris of a rampage through the city.
Debris. And every time I listen to UK shit,
officers came under attack
I
from
hear
a far
new
right
pronunciations
mob. Here,
of
as
every word.
elsewhere, a number of officers were injured. Police in running battles with some of those in the city's streets. And this just a few miles from Southport, where the attack on children at a dance class seemingly lit the fuse. As a mob came marauding down this street about an hour ago, shops were forced to close, this area was locked down. It's a measure of the impact these incidents are having on towns and cities, and of course most of all on the police trying to deal with them. And the big question, of course, is how long will this go on for? Similar scenes in Nottingham, bottles thrown as fighting broke out. And in Blackpool, where more fighting erupted in the crowd, their loyalties very clear.
Any person organising or taking part in the procession is committing an offence.
In Belfast too, a hotel housing migrants was the target, leading to clashes with police. More than 24
I would hardly call Ibis an hotel, man.
Protests have taken place across the country. Last night it was Sunderland that saw the worst of the violence, its streets bearing the scars today. Northumbria police released these images of officers at a house where they believed some of those involved in the disorder were. 2 people were arrested. There are warnings to those responsible. They will face action.
Well, the police need to lead operations in communities across the country where there has been both violent disorder and thuggery on the streets, which is completely unacceptable, completely damaging, and where the police need to know they have our full support, taking the strongest possible action, making sure that these criminals face the full force of the law.
In Manchester today, a supermarket was ransacked by a mob as they ran from police. But the city also saw one of the many counter-protests today, anti-fascists marching with their message. A sense that some are not willing to stand by as the wave of summer violence rolls on. And among others...
The fuck was that laugh? Heck, man. Aluno Inerps, ready to rumble, King Cohen, Zabin FF6, and Greg RB. Thank you. Welcome back, ladies. Real Master C.